The 50th anniversary is tonight being marked of a deadly fire at a seaside resort on the Isle of Man. 50 people were killed and dozens more seriously injured after flames swept through the Summerland Leisure Centre in Douglas in 1972. No one has ever been officially held responsible for the fire, and memories of the night remain raw for victims, relatives and survivors. Our correspondent Geraint Vincent reports.
On the eastern coast of the Isle of Man, a concrete ruin juts from the cliff. An ugly monument to terrible events.
It looks as if there's no hope for Summerland, without a shadow of a doubt.
On a Thursday evening in August 1973, fire ripped through the Summerland leisure complex in minutes.
I could feel my clothes melting into me. I felt my hair singe and I knew that I was on fire.
Jackie Norton was visiting Summerland with her mum Lorna and Jackie's best friend Jane Talon. They both died that night.
The whole wall of the building went up in flames in a second from the bottom to the top.
Summerland was a giant greenhouse designed to replicate tropical temperatures in the Irish Sea.
Cascading waterfalls will use the cliff face as backing, and there will be terraces of entertainment.
Inside there was room for thousands of holiday makers to eat, drink and enjoy the shows. But the building's roof and one of its walls were made from acrylic sheeting. There was no sprinkler system and no clear fire escape routes. So when the fire was started by children playing with matches in a kiosk near the building's entrance, catastrophe came quickly.
You expect your parents to go on holiday and come home. You don't expect them to go away and never see them again.
Heather was orphaned by the fire. Her sister, June, also died at Summerland.
If the right procedures had been followed in the very beginning, it wouldn't have happened.
The inquest which followed Summerland returned a verdict of death by misadventure, a verdict that relatives of the dead want overturned because of its suggestion that the victims were somehow aware of the danger they were in.
It was an absolute disgrace. There was no value on human life and no regard for the life sentence that was put on those of us that were involved.
There's another disturbing part of Summerland's legacy. Regulations were changed soon after the disaster to make sure that materials used in public buildings were fire resistant, changes which failed to prevent the fire at Grenfell Tower some 44 years later. The lesson of Summerland is still being learned. Geraint Vincent, ITV News.